Hey, welcome back to another edition of Four Downs with Danny J.
And Mr. Wright.
All right. How was your week?
It was good.
Yeah?
Lots of homework, lots of school, 18 credits, but surviving.
Good. It was a little rough around our household.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of had the cold.
Oof.
Yeah. Having a 2-year-old and a pregnant wife
Mhm.
with colds, it's not fun.
No.
It's not fun. All right. Good weekend, fun weekend,
Sad weekend.
sad weekend.
Another tough one.
But lots of good stuff that went on. But let's go ahead and talk about BYU versus West Virginia. This will be our first down.
First down.
All right, let's break it down. BYU lost again, 35-32. But positive note, offense woke up.
Yes, they did. And like I've been saying, the offensive line woke up. And then all of a sudden, there's a lot more places for Jamal and Taysom to run. And you saw the stats. Jamal and Taysom both had an excellent running day.
Yeah, they that offensive line looked vastly improved.
Mm-hmm.
We know that they'd been challenged by their coaches, that they had to step up their game, and they did.
Thank goodness.
There was a little bit of pressure every once in a while on Taysom, but overall, very good game out of the offensive line. I was very pleased.
Mm-hmm.
Going up against another Power 5 school, it's always a tough challenge.
Yep.
But I thought they did a great job.
Yeah.
And like you said, they opened up the holes for Taysom and Jamal.
They had all the time in the world to run.
Yeah.
And get to where they need to be. In
Jamal, he had 169 yards. He averaged 7 yards a carry. Taysom, he got 105 yards, averaged 7.5 yards a carry.
Mm-hmm.
I think Squally Canada got 6 yards, something like that.
Yeah, at least he got in.
But overall, that was awesome. Our passing game seemed to wake up a little bit.
Yeah.
Still need some work with the receivers.
But they made the catches that they should have. For the most part, it hit them in the hands, and they caught it. For the most part. And that's what they need to do. And that showed that the offense got rolling when that happened. Against Utah or, the other teams, they throw the ball and it drops out of their hands instead of a second and, 3, it's now a second and 10. And then they run it and now it's 3rd and 5 and they're getting lots of these third downs and they're not converting. But if they would have caught the ball in the first time, they would have got first down on second down instead. And so it just got the offense rolling a lot more.
Yeah, I think Taysom having time, he was able to survey the field. The receivers looked like they were running a little bit better routes.
Yep.
It was the first game this season where we averaged over 10 yards a pass attempt.
Yeah.
Which you average over 10 yards a pass attempt, you're going to complete some of those. Those are automatic first downs.
There you go.
You got to get them, and we scored 32 points.
Yeah, our offense woke up. Now, with the interceptions,
there were a couple interceptions.
Yeah. And again, I've lost track of how many times Taysom throws the ball, it hits the wide receiver in the hand, pops straight up and into the defender's arm. You can't throw those on Taysom. That's not his fault. Maybe he could hit the wide receiver more in the chest, but he's getting it in the area of the wide receiver, and that's just bad luck. And that's going to turn around. Here we are in week 5, and they still haven't turned it around. This is probably the most unlucky BYU offense I've ever seen for any team's offense. But
it's been a rough go. He had 4 picks this last week?
Yeah, something like that.
But I believe 3 of them were those tipped.
Yeah.
Now, granted, the one at the end of the game to Aleva Hifo, that's a tough one. That he was pretty well covered, but he put the ball in a good spot.
Yeah.
That was a great play by the defender to get his hand in there.
Yeah.
If the defender's hand isn't there, that's a catch, and that's either a touchdown or you're first and goal on the 1.
Where they haven't been able to stop your run game.
So did he force it? Yeah. But at the same time,
I don't blame him for taking that shot, though. They had all the time in the world, and a lot of people will say, get to, get into the field goal range first, but they had plenty of time. Why not take a shot? BYU's going to take risks now. We've kind of seen that more with these coaches. They're not afraid to put it in the hands of their offense or their defense and, take a shot. It'll pay off eventually. It will.
It will.
Yeah.
Jamal Williams also lost his first career fumble. Unfortunate.
In a very
Unfortunate
critical time
in the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, that I don't expect that to happen again.
Same. He's too secure with the ball. So.
Yeah. We need more yards after the catch. That's the last real thing I could think of with our offense. I've liked the play calls for the most part. I loved our offensive line. Our receivers, they caught a lot of balls that they were dropping or just not trying for the first couple weeks.
Yeah.
And I really appreciated that.
Much better improvement.
But we need more yards after the catch.
Yeah. And I think that's where UCLA and West Virginia really killed us, is they catch the ball and then another 5, 6, 7 yards after they catch it. Whereas BYU catches it and they're hit right away. And so I don't know if that is a separation thing or a better route running or what, but I think it'll come around.
So, speaking of the defense, first time they've really kind of gotten lit up. They gave up 28 points. They got beat deep. We saw that. They picked on our freshman corners a little bit when they would come in the game. They were not afraid. West Virginia was not afraid to throw the ball deep.
Yeah.
And he threw it accurately, and those receivers were fast.
Well, and that's the thing also, like BYU's their weakest point on their team year in and year out is their secondary with pass protection. BYU has never had really great corners or safeties, and they're really good compared to the previous years, but they're still not the greatest. And I think they will get there with this new coaching staff and working with them and better recruiting that will come with this coaching staff. But yeah, I kind of expected that to happen with the kind of offense that West Virginia runs. It was kind of a little more expected, and it could have been a lot worse.
True, could have been worse. I thought they played pretty well for the most part.
Yeah.
They stayed away from Michael Davis.
Mm-hmm.
They were, I don't know whether they were afraid to go after him or he was just doing a really good job shutting down his side. But they seem to be picking on the freshmen.
Yeah.
And then our D-line, our front seven, we got to get pressure.
Yeah.
We had 4 sacks against Arizona. Since then, we only have 2 sacks.
Yeah.
We got to get more pressure. In the last 6 quarters, so the second half against UCLA, and then all four quarters against West Virginia, quarterbacks are completing 76.7% of their passes. They're completing 77%. Some of that's on the corners, some of that's playing zone and dropping off. A lot of West Virginia, what they were doing was throwing those quick bubble screens, those quick outs, and letting their receivers just run, running little screens. So those are high percentage passes, but at the same time, 76%, 77%, that's a high number.
Yeah. And, BYU just needs to get to the quarterback. If they would have roughed him up a little bit, clean hits, obviously, but, where they're hitting him while he throws and getting sacks, that's going to, cut that number down significantly.
Overall, I was pleased with the performance. Not pleased with the outcome.
No. And
we've lost 3 games by 7 total points against Power 5 schools.
Yeah.
That's nothing to be ashamed of.
No.
With a first-year head coach, first-year offensive coordinator, first-year defensive coordinator, we're making strides.
Yeah, and on social media, I've seen just a lot of people saying BYU sucks, and it's like, no. BYU does not suck. Are they the greatest team? No. Are they a good team? Yeah. They're just losing. I mean, losing by that much doesn't mean you suck. It just means you have a few more things, just little things to take care of, and you're away. Then
we are this close to being 4-0.
Yeah, we're 7 points away from being 4-0.
Yeah, we're also 2 points away from being 0-4.
Yes.
So
let's count our blessings.
We got to win those tight games. That's how you're going to get into bigger conferences like the Big 12. That's how you're going to get those recognition. But that just takes time. You got to
Yeah.
learn to do that, and that's obviously a skill this team hasn't learned.
And they'll get there.
They'll get there.
Awesome. So we're excited. BYU hosts Toledo this week, and we're excited for that game. We're going to do another breakdown of our predictions and everything.
So BYU versus Toledo will be
Second down.
second down.
Also, subscribe, like, so you can get more. This has been 4 Downs with
Danny J.
and Mr. Wright.